Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on issue 1 of Mighty Morphin. Now, as you know, Mighty Morphin, much like other sort of Power Ranger comics, were meant to be part of the whole new timeline in the whole Boom Studio Mighty Morphin Power Ranger comic series. And I know, obviously, Ranger Prime was meant to be this new rebooted continuity that only lasted for a few issues. So here, yeah, it's meant to feature all 7 of the Rangers, and meant to feature the 7th Ranger, which of course is trying to emulate the whole Gold Ranger's identity thing from Power Ranger Zeo. So let's get on with the story. It starts off how over 1,000 years ago, we see how obviously some galactic patrolmen are taking on some alien overlords, and we kind of see right away they try to gain the upper hand until one says, "But your power will not protect you today." And we see right away they make quick work of the sort of warlord and take him out, and even encourages the creature to go against his masters. And it turns out these patrolmen are meant to be Zordon's race, and one of them being Zordon. And we see right away, years later, we see how Zordon, Billy, and Alpha are trying to make sense of what happened to the green power coin and the sort of new Green Ranger suit. And of course, they have to try and find out what's really going on. Here, we kind of see how Aisha, Kimberly, Rocky, and Adam are trying to understand who could be this new Green Ranger, and it could be anyone in the youth center. And we see, obviously, Rocky saying, "Aisha's got a point, unless you think it's Ernie, because it's probably not right." But we even see how Adam has his suspicions that it could be Lord Dragon, but of course, Billy doubts it, but of course it's all basically pointing fingers and trying to guess sort of thing. But obviously, Tommy, like any leader, has to get the team to understand, and also thinks that it could be a good thing, and they could get this new Green Ranger on their team. And we see how back on the moon, we see how Goldar and the others are trying to bring back Lord Zed back to life after the whole Dark Ranger plot. And we see how Babu says, "And of course, we do want him to wake up, don't we?" "Traitor! Pardon me? Lord Zed can hear you probably." But we see how Babu has come up with a plan to make it as a little alternative idea, and trying to find this new Green Ranger and make quick work of him. And we see right away back at the youth center, Rocky ends up meeting, obviously, Matt, who's obviously meant to be the whole anti-Tommy Oliver. And we see how right away that both Tommy and Matt know each other, and we kind of see right away it's kind of the whole Wes and Eric plot once again, and saying, "Yeah, I know who you are. Rocky, I'll be waiting over there, whether you're ready." Yeah, but sure, man, be over." And we kind of see right away, turns out Matt used to date Kimberly, and obviously there is some tension between the two. And we see right away Bulk and Skull and their new friend Candace want about going to this big concert, but of course, Bulk, kind of being the jerk that he is, kind of obviously insults Skull and his new girlfriend. And I think this is what always made Skull a bit more of a better counterpart to Bulk. He had potential to redeem himself, and so despite obviously hanging around with him, he had the potential for a brighter future. And we see right away that Kimberly, as well as Aisha, talk about everything that's been going on, not only with Billy, but also the Green Ranger Power Coin thing. And we see right away Billy kind of spending some time with Zordon, making lunch and so forth. We see how in downtown construction workers are having their lunch, until they end up dealing with an army of putties led by Pandemonium. And right away, the Rangers being called into action and becoming the sort of Power Rangers. And obviously, Tommy becoming the White Ranger and get right into action to take down the Putty Patrol. And we kind of see how obviously the new Green Ranger takes on Pandemonium. And we kind of see right away Tommy helps the sort of new Green Ranger. And right away, it's kind of going with the whole silent, mysterious hero thing. And obviously Kimberly saying, oh, you could just do that. Okay, see you later, TR. And we see Pandemonium saying, 4 against 1. So many rangers, so little time. Lord Zed sent you to wrong town, you oversized raccoon. Saber power, Zed. I know of no Zed. My masters are many, but their command is simple. And we kind of see right away he plans to kind of get the sort of White Ranger sword Saber, but we see right away the sort of new Green Ranger shows us how formidable he is, and obviously shows off how capable he is of being a Power Ranger. And Tommy trying to offer him a partnership and the leadership, being the 7th Ranger, but of course disappears. And right away, obviously Finster and the others are now worried after their failure, but Babu having to come up with other alternatives until Lord Zed finally returns and plans to kind of use the Chaos energy after the whole Dark Ranger thing for a new plan. And we also see how Skull and Candice kind of talk about their big day and so forth, until she realises she forgot her phone back at the restaurant. Skull quickly leaves, and turns out Candice is actually from the same race as Zordon, ending the story. So I think here, issue 1 is okay, but it feels like it's rehashing old elements we've seen from Power Rangers before. Like, we've obviously seen the whole mysterious Ranger thing from Zeo. We kind of seen, obviously, the whole rival conflicts with Wes and Eric. And it's clear they're just taking some old elements, tweaking them around, and just giving us the same stuff we've seen before. That's saying, hey, do you want this version? Do you want that version? We can do that version if you want us to. An okay story, not the best, but it still deserves a thumbs in the middle. Kind of alright, but kind of okay. So, comic book reviewer here, signing out.